Good morning, and thank you for joining us on another football feed with Queen City Newsfeed. I'm Cash Matlock, and as always, I'm joined by Rob Allen. You know him from WALT, you know him from Q101, and you most likely know him from Lamar football. So, Rob, how are you this morning?
I just don't want to find myself like on the docket for Queen City Newsfeed
yeah,
at some point.
You also know him from the Lauderdale County arrest report.
I saw him on the arrest report. I promise you I did.
No,
Yeah.
so.
Yes, exactly. All right, Rob. So let's go ahead and get it started, man. This is week 3 that we've done the show.
Yeah.
Kind of really week 2 for official games, would you say? Because we had that kind of pregame thing.
Yeah,
we
had that. Yeah, they had that one week where it was like Lamar playing and everybody else was playing preseason. So this is kind of officially week 2 overall.
Yeah.
So
Gotcha. Well, sorry about that. Let's go ahead and kick it off. I do want to say that let's give a special shout out to our sponsor, All-Star Team Sports in Meridian. Thank you so much for sponsoring us. They're a great location there in downtown Meridian. They've got everything you need when it comes to sports. They've got customization things. They could do shirts, jerseys, hats, and of course, we talked about it last week, Rob. They've been around my whole life, so I've always gone there. Our sports teams have always shot from them. And also, if you didn't know this, they make the Queen City Newsfeed T-shirts. Too,
bingo.
which, if I do say so myself, are some of the best shirts around.
The best shirts around.
Yeah, as far as shirts go. But and then also we want to remind everybody to like, comment, and share this. And you can follow us on QueenCityNewsfeed.com, Queen City Newsfeed Facebook page, and of course this program here, the football feed, goes out across all Digio strategies stations. It goes across the Meridian Media Group stations. You can find it anywhere. There's no excuse not to watch it. We're also on YouTube. So
I do want to say one thing that was really convenient about last Friday. Of course, I'm wrapped up in one game I broadcast every week. That's the Lamar Raiders.
Yeah.
And when I got home that night, I was like, man, I didn't get a chance to check the other scores. Well, as I open up my device, Queen City Newsfeed has the scores right there from Friday night. So that was really clutch to have that right there. I didn't have to go, bouncing all over the place. We had the entire layout of all the scores from Friday night. And some surprises, some not so surprising results. But that's always a great thing to have when you're focused on one game. That's a good thing to lean back on. So
yeah, and we're gonna, like I said last week, we're gonna try to push that out as soon as we can on Friday night. Sometimes it bleeds over into Saturday morning,
right?
As you're waiting on those numbers to come in. But yeah, we want to get that up and posted and have that ready for you guys as soon as you can. So when you wake up Saturday morning, you can check on those games that maybe you didn't get to go out to see, or you didn't get to hear the broadcast for, or something like that. So definitely useful there, and I'm glad we started doing it. It's the Queen City Newsfeed scoreboard that's posted. So like we said, you can check on that late Friday night or early Saturday morning.
Absolutely.
All right, Rob. So let's go ahead and get it kicked off with high school football highlights. You want to start out with Neshoba Central Rockets versus Meridian High School Wildcats?
Yeah, this is a big game tomorrow night. There's our big 3 right there that we'll have broadcast on with several of our Digio strategy platforms. I really want to start out with Meridian and Neshoba Central. Of course, this will be broadcasted on 95.1 The Beat. And, of course, I want to give a big shout-out to Charlie Lockley and Neil Henry. They worked together for the first time this past Thursday in their broadcast on The Beat. And from one broadcaster to another, I have to say, great job, guys. I thought they did a wonderful job in their first time working together. And I've been there in that situation. You never worked with somebody before doing a live play-by-play, but I thought they did a great job. It wasn't a fun game for them to call, I know. With Meridian losing to Ocean Springs 35-0 last week. Neshoba's coming off a loss as well. Mm-hmm. So these are two teams trying to find their footing early in the season. But, it's going to be an emotional night tomorrow night out at Ray Stadium. They're going to do the tribute for Chico Brooks during the I'm not sure. Cash, have you heard the word? Is it going to be before the game or during halftime? That's the only thing I've not gotten any clarification on. If somebody's watching, the football feed right now, they can comment on that to let us know. But they will be doing some sort of an honorarium type thing tomorrow night for Chico. And, of course, I believe the funeral is going to be Saturday there at the high school gym there at 11 o'clock. So it's going to be a very emotional night. And I think the football team has got stickers made. They're going to be on the back of their helmets for, I would assume, the rest of the season, if not longer. I would say permanently put them on there if you want to ask me about that. But yeah, it's going to be an emotional night tomorrow night.
Well, Rob, I just looked it up, and the only thing that was released to us was, actually, it does say a time. So a heartfelt tribute to Coach Brooks will be shown on the Jumbotron during halftime.
Halftime, okay.
So that'll be when that takes place. And like you said, you'll have he'll actually have a viewing at Barry and Gardner Funeral Home from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Friday, September 5th. And then the funeral is Saturday, September 6th, Meridian High School boys basketball gym at 11
a.m. So the funeral will be the next morning. So it's going to be an emotional night tomorrow night. And I have a real, I mean, easy to say this. It's going to be a little extra juice for the Wildcats tomorrow night because, I mean, let's face it, you lose your opener to a very good Ocean Springs team. I'm not saying anything derogatory about Ocean Springs, but they are a heck of a football team. Mm-hmm. They're definitely going to be in the playoff mix when all is said and done, competing for a state championship. And Neshoba Central, for many years now, as long as I've been around, they've been a very hard-nosed, blue-collar type of football team. Mm-hmm. And there are a couple of classifications lower than Meridian is. Not saying that's going to be a factor in the football game, don't get me wrong, but Meridian's a young football team, and I'm hoping we'll get a good crowd out there tomorrow night. I think we will because of them honoring Chico at halftime. I think it's going to be a big crowd. Emotional, and I think that's going to give the Wildcats a little extra juice tomorrow night. In the ball game.
I hope they do it for Chico. Not to be biased or anything, but
I have to be biased on this one just because we all love Chico. We had we talked about this last week. Everybody has a Chico Brooks story that they can share, but I imagine this current group of Wildcats and the coaches too that developed a good relationship with Chico over the years. I think everybody's going to have a little extra incentive going into this one tomorrow night. And I did notice too, and I believe you shared it on Queen City Newsfeed this week, the scholarship that's been created as well, right?
Yeah, so Meridian Public School District establishes a scholarship honoring longtime supporter Michael Chico Brooks. And it's a legacy scholarship. I think it's going to be managed through the Community Foundation of East Mississippi. And it says here that the scholarship will empower future Wildcats to lead with heart, just like Chico did. So
that's perfect.
Yes, and you can actually donate to that, and we have that information up on our website on queencitynewsfeed.com. You can go there and donate to that scholarship.
Fantastic. And folks, I really do encourage you to do that. If people have been coming up to me since his passing, what can I do? What can I do? Well, you know what? I will lead you right in that direction. That's what Chico would want, is for you to give back to help the student athletes and help the students in general. But I think that's the perfect way to honor his memory. But I hope Meridian comes out and plays well. I know it was tough the other night. Penalties got in the way. There was just a lot of adversity in that ball game the other night. And like I said, Neshoba Central is going to be a tough opponent. They're coming in. They're hungry for a win as well. You're going to hear this theme a lot probably today here on the football feed with Queen City Newsfeed. You hear coaches, the cliche, improving from week 1 to week 2. You make your biggest jump from week 1 to week 2. Well, let's hope that Coach Gandy and the Wildcats will make that big leap from week 1 to week 2. So, but it'll be a good game hopefully tomorrow night. Like I said, if you can't go out to the Ray tomorrow night, we will have it on one of our Digio strategy platforms, 95.1 The Beat.
Oh, yeah. And like you said, Rob, I think, in my opinion, unless you have a really good first game, let's just not even count the first game because everybody's warming up, it's practice.
It's not district games yet. We're still weeks away from that. But you still, to gain confidence of your young men on the football team, you want to win early. And Meridian High does not have the easiest of schedules. That can either be a helpful thing for you down the road or it can hurt your kids' confidence. So we'll see how, Meridian kind of juggles this going into tomorrow night. But yeah, emotions are going to be running high, and I think that'll give, hopefully, the Wildcats some extra juice. And Chico can maybe push us over the line tomorrow night.
Yeah,
so
I hope so. All right, well, let's move on down the line here. We've got another broadcast of ours. We got West Lauderdale Knights versus Morton Panthers.
Yeah, West Lauderdale had no problems whatsoever with Seminary last week and scored over 40 points. I mean, just thoroughly dominated Seminary. It was a great home opener for the Knights. Now they get to go on the road to take on the Morton Panthers. You know, Morton throughout the years has been kind of a regular mainstay in the postseason. I know they got started off on a rough start last week with a loss, but yeah, West Lauderdale, they always say it's fun to open up at home, but now you get to go on the road. And Morton is a tough place to play. I've been there before, and you get a lot of fans in there. It could be difficult on West Lauderdale. So you kind of get a gauge if you're Coach Brock Clay and the Knights of you get the pulse of the team of how do you respond to playing on the road, because I think a lot of these teams that are going to enjoy a lot of early success need to face a little bit of adversity. Yeah. That's going to teach them down the road. And not saying West Lauderdale is going to face a lot of adversity in this ballgame. I think they're going to be the heavy favorite going into this. But still, when you play on the road, I don't care what level of football you're at, you're going to run into some adversity. You might get a call that might not go your way. A ball may bounce a way it's not going to go for you. But West Lauderdale,
not to mention the fans.
Yeah, and like I said, the environment has a lot to do with it. And I think West Lauderdale is battle tested. Like I said, a lot of players back from that team that nearly went to state last year. We talked about Travion Mose last week. He is as advertised as we talked. He was an 1,800-yard rusher last year. But West Lauderdale, they just go about their business every year. They quietly put together a nice season. They seem to win district every year. They get into the playoffs, but they do it so quietly around the state. It's not quiet to us here, but wide.
Oh, yeah.
They get overlooked a lot. And I think this could be one of the sneaky good teams that nobody in the state's paying attention to.
Okay. Well, that I guess we'll just have to see how that kind of plays out. But I kind of agree with you, Rob. I think that's how it was, when I was in high school, we didn't like to play them because they would always beat us into the ground.
Right.
So, I'm not going to comment too much on them.
Oh, yeah.
But no, I agree with you.
Back in the day.
Yeah, no, they're always a really good team. And I think, like you said, I think they'll kind of formulate that throughout the season, and we'll see them hopefully, do well, because I like to see local teams do good. So
absolutely. Of course, that game will be broadcasted over on Q101, 101.3. There you see the FM dial right there. Of course, the Q101 mobile app, Q101radio.com. I mean, so many ways to stay plugged into the West Lauderdale Knights. So many ways. So, right. But yeah, Lee does a great job on that broadcast as well, and that'll be
Lee Taylor.
Tomorrow night. Look at you, Lee Taylor. Lee Taylor.
Gotta get the Lee Taylor.
That's right. So Lee does a great job. So, but that'll be a good one tomorrow night. Good test for West Lauderdale on the road.
Yeah. And then, of course, not being biased here, but your favorite, Lamar Raiders versus Jackson Prep Patriots.
Yeah, they might pay my paycheck every now and then.
No, this is, if you've been around Lamar football for as long as I have, usually this is what it is type game. And when I say that, Lamar's going to dress probably 38, 39 football players, while Jackson Prep's going to dress close to 80, 85. Yeah. When you look at that, it's like, well, we know how that's going to turn out. Right. Well, Lamar's 2-0. Jackson Prep is 0-2. Jackson Prep has played two really tough teams. They played a team out of Tennessee to open up the season. They got beat pretty thoroughly, and then they lost to Park Lane last week, while Lamar, of course, we talked about them beating South Choctaw Academy. They shut out Wayne Academy last week 32-0. Lamar's defense is pretty solid.
They're not to be underestimated.
Yeah, Tyler Brown, I want to talk about this young man for a second. He had 18 tackles in the first win. He had 15 more against Wayne Academy and another sack and a forced fumble. That's a name that a lot of scouts need to get just imprinted into their brains. Is this kid? He's a good character kid. He hustles on every play. Seems like he's next to the football in every play.
And what year is he? Did you say?
He's a senior.
He's a senior.
He's a senior.
Yeah, so it's time for the scouts to be looking.
Yeah, looking at him. But with Jackson Prep, it's at their home field. The message I've heard, I spoke to Coach Land yesterday, and he said, we're not going to tell the kids, why not us? You know, we're going to go out there and just give it our best shot. We firmly believe we can go in there and win this football game against a bigger school. So they've got the right mindset going in.
I believe that they believe it.
Yeah, I mean, really. I mean, I was kind of like, okay, well, let's see what happens. It's one of those games where you're a heavy underdog more than likely. But you know what? From Lamar's standpoint, let's line up, let's play, let's see what happens, and let's see where the chips fall. And he said, let's don't focus on the scoreboard. Let's just focus on every individual play to the best of our ability, put the effort out there, and at the end of the night, if the scoreboard shows we won, then all of those efforts will pay off. So,
and look, not to get off track here, Robin, we mentioned it last week, but Lamar has so many good sports teams. I mean, we're talking state championship after state championship when it comes to tennis, golf, volleyball. I mean, they're just a good school all around.
And I got to give a shout out to the cheer and dance team. Yeah, they're going to be competing at the state competition in Jackson on September the 10th. Right. So got a chance to visit with Coach Beach and Coach Terry, the coaches for dance and cheer here recently, and they're going to be competing soon. So there could be some more hardware coming home there on the dance and cheer side.
And I don't doubt that there will be.
No. Usually a pretty tradition-rich cheer and dance program there at Lamar. So, but good luck to Coach Land and the Raiders. We'll have the broadcast over on 97 OKK tomorrow night, of course, 97.1 on the dial, and OKK's got the app, and, of course, streaming as well at 97okk.com. Prep's a great facility. They're always real welcome to us over there, and hopefully we'll be rude visitors and lay a loss on them. So we'll see what happens.
Hopefully.
So we'll see what happens. So
all right, well, let's go ahead and take a look at all the other high school football matchups we got coming up. Rob, I kind of want to start it off with my old what do you call it, alma mater?
The Clarkdale Bulldogs.
Hey,
right. Clarkdale got a win against Resurrection to open up the season last week. Coach Rob Roberts, his first win out there at Clarkdale.
Yeah, I could have told you that.
He could have told you it was going to happen. So
lifelong Bulldog.
Well, now Clarkdale has got to go on the road. They go to take on Stringer, and that's a team that I believe Enterprise played this past week. So Clarkdale will go to Stringer. Enterprise, speaking of Enterprise, they're going to be going to, Southeast Lauderdale coming up tomorrow night. And that's two teams that both lost in week one activity. You got Russell Christian traveling to Cornerstone over in Alabama. Of course, Russell Christian lost last week to Newton County Academy. Quitman at Heidelberg. That'll be a tough matchup for the Panthers. Heidelberg, of course, lost to Noxubee this past week. Union, after a 1-0 start, they'll go to Scott Central. Newton County is at Raleigh. And then Mount Olive will be at Newton. And this is always a fun matchup that doesn't get a lot of attention. You've got Choctaw Central hosting Cherokee, North Carolina. Now, these are two schools that traditionally play each other. The reservations always get together and play these matchups. Yeah. And this year, the game will be at Choctaw Central. Okay. And I believe they play for a rivalry trophy as well, which is kind of cool. You got Kemper County hosting Noxubee. You've got Lake at Sebastopol. Wayne County hosting Leake Central. Louisville, always a tough team. They're at Shannon. And then a couple of games I wanted to highlight in the Academy ranks. Wayne Academy goes up to Columbus to take on Heritage. And then Starkville Academy will host Winston. So, but that is a lot of games on the schedule this week.
Yeah, and then did we mention Newton County Academy versus Christian Covenant? I don't know if we mentioned that.
I think I may have missed that one by mistake. I'm going through a lot of games here. But, yeah, Newton County Academy, after they beat Russell, they'll be over at Christian Covenant. So Coach Steve Nelson over there for the Generals, but having a good start to their year. So,
and it's crazy. It's like, you spend all year waiting on football season, and then before you know it, you got games,
and a bunch of them. It's a bunch of them for sure.
And not just high school, we've got JUCO games.
Yeah, junior college football tonight. 3 games we want to highlight here. East Mississippi will be up at Sullivan Wyndham Field tonight in Scuba, taking on Hines. And, East went down to Gulf Coast last week and lost to a very good Gulf Coast team. Gulf Coast ranked very high in the preseason, and I know East is ready to get that first win tonight. Hines will be no cupcake. That'll be another tough opponent. Yeah. East Central is a team that really shocked me last week. They lost in their home opener. and they will be on the road at Northwest. So if you're trying to bounce back from a Week 1 loss, that's not the best place to go is
Never the
Northwest.
best
So,
mood either,
but Jones had no problems last week with Mississippi Delta, and they will be at Kahoma. I'm pretty sure that Jones will go up and take care of business. East Mississippi, I'm really interested to see how they're going to respond going into this week. I'm assuming it'll be a great atmosphere, great crowd out there at East tonight for that ball game. East Central is, I know they are starving for that first win, but Cash, in this league in Mississippi with JUCO, you don't want to go 0-2. I mean, you really don't want to. And East Central has got the toughest assignment of anybody going up to play Northwest, because Northwest is one of those teams that was ranked pretty high in the preseason. So, but those games, we'll see how they shake out tonight. But I believe all the start times are going to be around 6:37. They always try to mix up the times on those games, but those are the big three tonight in local junior college football.
You know, it always shocks me how much of a fan base that JUCO games have, and how serious those games are. You know, those fans are serious.
That league is the SEC of junior college football. And when you look down, when you look down on a roster, you'll see a player has transferred in from a Florida State or an Alabama or an MSU or whatever. It's kind of I wouldn't say it's kind of like the Last Chance U thing that East had on Netflix, but you got to think about that. It's a second chance for them to get playing time and, of course, kind of rebound from their previous stop. But a lot of talent up and down the board on all these teams.
Yes. Okay, well, let's take it on down to college football games to watch.
Well, it was a very interesting Week 1, and Alabama fans, I'll get to you in a minute. So we're going to start out with Mississippi State and Arizona State. Yeah, this is a golden opportunity for the Bulldogs. They get a top 10 team coming into Davis Wade this weekend. It'll be a night game at 6:30 there in Starkville. State went down and took care of business against Southern Miss. Didn't look very smooth in the first half, but they finally found their footing in the second half. I think State's defense is mightily improved from last year. Arizona State is a favorite to win the Big 12. This is going to be kind of a measuring stick. Is MSU really improved, or where are they at right now? That's kind of where, because you really don't know until you play a quality opponent. Not sliding Southern Miss, but Southern Miss is in a rebuilding mode. But this will be a telltale for State if they can handle a tough team like Arizona State. And from the Arizona State standpoint, how good are they? We'll find out about them, because they played Northern Arizona last week. You know, that's not a great team to start out with, but we'll see what happens. 6:30 on that one tomorrow night. And then right below that, Ole Miss, after they took care of Georgia State, no problems there, they will go to Kentucky. And this is a revenge game for Lane Kiffin and the Rebels, because if you remember last year, Kentucky came into Oxford and upset Ole Miss. And that was one of the losses that kind of led to Ole Miss not getting into the playoff, because obviously they lost to Florida and LSU later in the year, during the season rather. But I think Ole Miss, this is more about them than Kentucky. Kentucky is not favored in this ball game at all. But Ole Miss, you have to treat this like a business trip. Go on the road, take care of you. Don't let the environment affect you. Just play your brand of football. If Ole Miss does that, they should win this football game, but block out the noise from last year, because that's all the media is talking about.
And you know that's hard to do.
It is.
Because it's everywhere you see it, and it was a pretty big upset. So
yeah. But I think Ole Miss will win this football game.
Yeah.
But it'll be 2:30 on ABC on Saturday, and then you see Southern Miss and Jackson State there at the bottom. Once again, I love the two schools in Mississippi playing each other. So back-to-back weeks in Hattiesburg, you get Mississippi State and Jackson State. Love this. Southern Miss, they look good at times last week against Mississippi State, but I think they eventually got a little overwhelmed by some of the SEC talent that State had. But I think Southern will more than likely win this football game. But Jackson State is... They're not a pushover in the SWAC, but it'll be interesting there. And now we get to Alabama.
Oh, Alabama.
Alabama.
Okay. Look, people can start commenting.
Okay. I'm going to try to pick my words wisely here. No, I'm just going to give you the truth. They lost to Florida State last week. Yeah. That's a fact.
They don't want to hear it.
They just simply did not look like the best football team on the field. Florida State, hands down, played harder. They looked better. Alabama just did not play well in any part of the football game. I really thought when the game started, Alabama goes down the field and scores first. I'm like, okay, well, this is going to be what we thought. And then from that point on, Florida State just thoroughly dominated the football game. Kalen DeBoer's got to be fired. We've heard all that all week. So.
Well, look, it's early. It's early.
It's one game.
It's one game. Don't shoot the messenger.
Cash, I was going to throw this number at you. If they were to fire Kalen DeBoer, the coach at Alabama, his second season, he has a buyout. Are you ready for this number?
Okay.
$70 million.
I mean, you could retire after that.
I mean, right? Hey, you're fired. Okay, sure. I'll take $70 million.
I think I'd be doing everything I could do to get fired.
I know, right? But
doing.
That's crazy, though, the way these contracts are. And then you got to think, too, with the NIL money that's involved in this now, they still have to pay these players upwards to 20 or 30 million in that payroll. They can't afford that.
I just don't understand. But I mean, I do understand.
Yeah,
because
it's a different time. But they should win this football game. It's UL Monroe, but they've got. It's 1 week. I know everybody's hitting the panic button, and trust me, it's going to get a lot tougher for Alabama because they should win against Wisconsin, but they still got Georgia. They still got LSU, South Carolina. The schedule does not get any easier down the road, but I think it was an eye-opening deal for everybody of what happened there. But they should be fine Saturday. It'll be a night game in Tuscaloosa, 6:45 SEC Network, so they should be fine. And then finally, I guess the big college game on the rankings this week is Michigan at Oklahoma. It's the only top 25 matchup of the week after we had all those highly ranked games this past week. But Oklahoma, this is a big game for them against Michigan. Be a rowdy atmosphere there in OU, but it's a big game for Coach Venables there at Oklahoma because there's been a lot of talk about how his job status is going to look at the end of the year. And, of course, Michigan, they've had a lot of distractions off the field here recently with some of the bowl ban stuff they've had to do with NCAA infractions. So, but that's really the big game on the docket this week outside of the other ones right there with Oklahoma and Michigan. So
I gotcha. Well, I don't think we've done this before, but we're going to go through the NFL schedule highlights.
Yeah, I threw a few NFL games in there because it does get started tonight. Dallas visits Philadelphia tonight. That will be on NBC and Peacock for you out there. They always have defending Super Bowl champions that host the opening game, and it's always on a Thursday. But, yeah, that'll be on TV tonight on NBC or Peacock. Of course, Cowboys always get all the headlines, and the Eagles, the defending champs, these two don't like each other. And, of course, Dallas,
old Dak Prescott, right?
The Dak Prescott as the QB, but, of course, the Micah Parsons drama with the trade that happened to Green Bay last week. So it'll be a star-studded opening night with Philadelphia and Dallas. And then this is interesting. Tomorrow, your eyes are not messing with you. Next to that Chiefs logo, Chiefs and Chargers in Brazil tomorrow night.
Okay.
That's crazy. Mm-hmm. They're opening up
in Brazil.
Yeah, they're opening up in Brazil tomorrow night.
That is a big bunch.
Yeah, they're trying. The game is trying to expand overseas, and they're going to do that. Got to do what you got to do,
and make that money. They got those $1 million contracts.
Oh
to pay for.
Yeah, exactly. But that game will be on YouTube TV tomorrow night. So between the Chiefs and the Chargers, of course, I think someone lovingly said the Fighting Taylor Swifts with Kansas City with the engagement there to Kelsey, but. Of course, Mahomes and the Chiefs will always be heavy favorites in any ball game they have. And, of course, the New Orleans Saints hosting the Arizona Cardinals. The rest of these games will be on Sunday, by the way. Mm-hmm. Saints breaking in a new starting quarterback in Spencer Rattler. We'll see how that works out. Then you got the Detroit Lions at the Green Bay Packers. That'll be interesting just because of the Micah Parsons trade into Green Bay. Detroit returning a lot. They have some new coordinators there on defense and offense, so we'll see how that shakes out. Atlanta hosting Tampa Bay, and those are two teams that just don't like each other. And then you got Sunday Night Football, Baltimore and Buffalo, the Ravens and Bills. That features the last two players who've won the Most Valuable Player Award in the NFL. So I just wanted to toss those in because now you get football on Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays, and Monday Night Football as well. So
it's basically a whole weekend, then you get a weekend off.
It's basically
the weekend is Tuesday, Wednesday.
Whole weekend of it. So it's going to be great. But, yeah, I wanted to toss some NFL in there toward the end of the broadcast here.
Well, look, the real question is, will Taylor Swift be in Brazil? That's the real question.
You know,
That no one cares about. That watches football.
I'm tired of seeing. I want to watch my football.
you know,
I had to say that to rage bait people online.
I would think so.
Yeah.
Probably because it's on the game is not on a network.
The big question is, will she do the Super Bowl?
I read a story this morning. Roger Goodell was
Didn't he say she could do it anytime she wanted to?
Roger Goodell was on the Today Show yesterday, and he said maybe.
Yeah.
About her doing it. And a lot of people have speculated, she's going to do the halftime show. Then she's going to get married at the Super Bowl. They're going to rig it so the Chiefs make the Super Bowl. So,
yeah.
I mean, you hear everything.
Well, they have to win now because they're going to get married later on. So, I mean, it's like, now they have to win. It's favored to them.
So, everybody's got a theory about it. I think she'll probably
Taylor
be
Swift
there.
has bought the NFL.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. Basically,
yeah. So, but yeah, you're probably going to see her a lot this year.
Yeah.
So.
Can't wait.
Can't wait. I can't wait. I went up to go to the fridge to get a beer, and now, there she is again.
Yeah.
So.
I can't wait to see all the complaining online. So
It's always fun to read the comments.
That'll be great. All right. Well, awesome. Okay. So, do you have any hot takes or bold predictions or anything you want to get off your chest?
It's really as far as any bold predictions for the weekend with high school ball. I really don't do any predictions for high school ball because everything is so unpredictable. But as far as college ball goes, I go back to that Ole Miss Kentucky game. Ole Miss just needs to focus on them. Don't go in and play sloppy, because if Ole Miss goes in there and plays sloppy against a bad Kentucky team, then Lightning can strike twice from a year ago.
Just tune out the noise.
Yeah, just tune. I mean, if they just play their brand, they'll be fine. Mississippi State and Arizona State, I think it's going to be a measuring stick to see where State is at. If State somehow pulls off that upset. Maybe a team to watch. I know we're only in week 2, but that'll be interesting. And, of course, as far as the NFL goes, I mean, when you got the Cowboys on the schedule tonight, everybody's going to be watching. I mean, they get the headlines all the time.
Look, Rob, I have a hard time with the Cowboys. It's hard for me to say this, but Dak Prescott actually flirted with my ex-girlfriend, so I don't really like them. I don't like the Dallas Cowboys.
No,
And you know the girlfriend I'm talking
about.
You know the one I'm talking about.
Dakota.
Yeah. So I have beef with Dak Prescott.
You got a
actually.
beef with number 4.
Yeah, and I'm like 5'9", so the beef is very one-sided.
He's a big guy.
Yeah, but yeah, so everybody just keeps on rooting him on.
Seems like a quality guy, but I got the real scoop.
I got the real story for you.
The real story. But anyway, I just had to throw that in there for fun. But yeah, I don't know if I have any bold predictions, but I'm just gonna say, I'm always rooting for hyper local.
Yeah,
and I'm
absolutely.
always rooting for Mississippi teams.
Well, and one team that I'm pulling hard for is Meridian. I really hope they come out and play well tomorrow night
game
for Chico. Do it for Chico tomorrow night.
And then the rest of the season, do whatever you want. But
I don't care about anything else, just this ball game,
But now do it for Chico. Play for Chico. Play in his memory, and I think things will stack up well for the Wildcats.
Yeah, and like we said, there is that scholarship that they are doing in his honor. More information on that can be found at queencitynewsfeed.com. You can actually donate to that scholarship, and that scholarship goes to student athletes.
Fantastic.
So it's awesome. Well, also, just before we sign off real quick, I do want to say, again, thank you to our sponsor, All-Star Team Sports in Meridian. And you can like this and share it and subscribe. We've got queencitynewsfeed.com. We got the Facebook page. We got the YouTube channel.
It's everywhere.
You can watch the football feed on anything. And, of course, we've got our 3 games that we actually broadcast from local stations here. Rob, you want to go over those one more time?
Yeah, once again, the Meridian game will be on 95.1 The Beat tomorrow night. The West Lauderdale game with Morton will be on Q101, and then the Lamar game against Jackson Prep will be on 97 OKK. And I want to say one thing real quick about All-Star Team Sports, folks. Any of these local teams we mentioned, they can make you apparel with that school on it. I mean, they do an amazing job down there. If you want something Meridian, West Lauderdale, Clarkdale, Russell Christian, whatever it might be, they can get you some pretty sweet apparel so you can show your spirit every Friday night at these ball games.
Yeah, and it's better than your sister's cricket. Okay?
Right, anything.
So stop making things on that cricket.
Stop doing
and
it.
shop local.
Yeah, shop local always.
All right. Well, thank you, Rob. And, that's it for me. You got anything else you want to add?
No, nothing more, folks. Just be safe out of the ball games, and I always got to plug this as well. Band, cheer, dance. Good luck to you as well. You work just as hard. So
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us. Like we said, you can like and subscribe and find all of the latest football feed issues with Queen City Newsfeed. We've got them on YouTube, Facebook, QueenCityNewsfeed.com. Also, real quick reminder, we're going to have that Queen City Newsfeed scoreboard up late Friday night, early Saturday morning. We're going to have all those local scores from all of the games that we just went over.
Yep,
so
absolutely.
And we're working hard. We got a little sweatshop going where we we have a whole crew of people that are just getting those numbers in. I mean, you wouldn't believe it, Rob.
Well, somebody's got to run the hamster wheel,
Yeah.
run up and down the wheel all the time. So we got to have somebody do it.
All right, guys. Well, thank you guys for joining us. We will see you back here next week, same time, same place.